Hey everyone. I'm talking kind of low. I'm not at the pool by myself. I wouldn't even say it's warm enough to be at the pool, but my kids literally begged me to bring them out here. So, it's not the worst, but it's not the warmest either. I am no makeup, but I also feel like I look like I've been crying because I have. Not as much as I have been Thursday night all through Friday. A little bit Saturday. Today is Sunday. And I wanted to share my story because in the world of self-development, in the world of manifesting, in the world of, knowing and trying to implement the law of attraction and positivity and writing your own story and being your own life coach and always wanting to be better than the old you and got a little gray here. All of the things. Sometimes it's gonna, well, not even if, it does feel like nothing you're doing is actually making a difference or changing or improving the way you want it to improve. And for me, it's been a thing of like, okay, practicing patience, practicing knowing that, believing that my faith, my intention and everything that I'm putting out has to be a magnet. Like putting into practice what you say you believe to like now you just have to relax and you have to trust that even in the midst of things getting worse. And for me, um, the straw that broke the camel's back was me literally being robbed. The details don't matter, but my phone, my car keys, my money, it was all in my purse, and it was taken from me. And in that moment, I just was like, why? What the hell? Why would this happen? What is the point? What is, that's what everybody thinks. Like, why do bad things happen? When it's something associated with death, you try to process it by like, oh, someone's age, someone had a rich, long life, and no one knows the time nor the day. Or if it's drug addiction or an accident, you try to like envision the person being set free from their own inner struggles and finding peace with the... Okay, if you're gonna whine like that, we're going home. I don't want to hear it. Leave your sister alone. Rael, stop whining. Autumn, leave her alone. What did I say? What did I say? So, we all have ways of trying to understand and process bad news. Things that happen in life that we don't understand. And, hey, how you doing? Good. I'm watching her. I lost my train of thought. And I started to talk on this in a video, I would say almost a month ago, but I didn't record it. And I recorded it, but I didn't post it because I was interrupted. But I was like, what do you do? The point of that video was like, when people are like, they've done the inner work and they are mentally there, they're mentally like, my life is, I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm going to count my blessings. I'm going to stay positive no matter what. I am progressing no matter what. I am making strides no matter what it could be worth, blah, blah, blah. We're always talking ourselves through these things, and we've done we're doing the inner work, and we are like, okay, because this is who I am becoming, and this is what I'm working with, what I have, no comparison. But when things don't pan out like you think they should, when the manifestation doesn't look anything like nothing like what you wrote down, what you envisioned, when the results that you hope for don't even turn out, you're like, what the fuck now? What am I doing? What am I struggling with? Because on the other side of social media and content creation and the world of YouTube and all these things, you hear everyone else's happily ever after. You hear everyone else's like success stories. Like, oh, within 2 weeks, I made the mental shift and I saw the results. Within a day, I did this and I got that. And I love that for them. This is not coming from a place of jealousy, envy, resentment, like, what the fuck? But it is still trusting your own journey, because you know that you can't compare yourself to anyone else. You know that your story is completely unique. But at the same time, you're wondering where your come up is. You're wondering where your breakthrough is. You're wondering, like, what am I missing? Is the universe sending me lessons, signs, and situations that I'm not understanding? Is something that I'm missing? Am I still trying to control? Is the actions that I'm taking me trying to control too much? Because you know how they say you're supposed to match, like, half of it's mental, half of it's action, inspired action, or action that, like, okay, I took my time, I was intentional with this, I was mindful about this, and so I thought this way, I took this step, I got this result. But when all of that still falls through, you can be left with, like, what the hell? And for me, when the straw broke the camel's back and I lost all my belongings, I was venting to my girlfriend. I was like, now that I think about it, I have not been able to catch a break in over a year. From my breakup, to my grandmother dying, to living with my uncle. Y'all have seen those videos. I was, sharing my journey and still showing up in my car. A lot of videos were in my car because I was on the road in between Virginia and Maryland. And the whole time the goal was to stay positive. You're a life coach. You know how this works. You know how you have to still show up for yourself. You know how you still have to coach yourself through this stuff. And I was practicing what I preached. And so then the breakthrough was, okay, got in a little apartment, I moved, it's great to have my own space. Now, maybe I should explore a 9 to 5. Maybe I should have multiple income streams and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, a month turns into 2 months, turns into 3 months, and you're like, what is happening to my plan? What is happening to what I think I should be doing? What is happening, period? And you hate to admit that the doubt starts creeping in like a shadow. The doubt starts watching you sleep at night. When you wake up and you try to journal and you try to, pull an oracle card or say a prayer and stay positive, say your affirmations, you see this demon literally, like, wrapping its arm around you, like, bitch, who are you fooling? And you're like, I'm fooling myself. I'm trying to fool myself. I'm trying to be delusional. Let me be delusional. I'm trying to hold on to any ounce and fight back my thoughts, all of the things that, like, don't look like they're panning out. I'll give you another example. Even when I was like, I got a tip, apply for this job. You don't need a degree. You don't need any experience. It's pretty much admin. $70,000 a year. Like, I was like, that would be a great start. 2 interviews later with the CEO. And they chose someone else. And I was like, well, what the fuck was all that for? I know I interview great. I know my charisma shines through. I know I can learn and do anything. And those kind of things, when things happen and they don't result in anything, you're left with this, like, empty, like, what am I exactly supposed to take from this? So let me go back to my robbery story. Since I literally tell everything to YouTube. I didn't even tell my mother that this happened to me. And I swear sometimes, the alcohol will give you that liquid courage, even though this is just Pinot Grigio. So my bag gets stolen, right? And I'm running around like, oh my God, who's seen my bag? It looks like this. Everyone's like, not everyone, half are like, no, we didn't see anything. Sorry that happened to you. Damn, that's fucked up. And one of the bartenders, and some of the security, they were like, oh, we saw the dude that took your bag. He dashed out. And I'm like, wow. So I finally give up. And I walk toward my car, and someone's like, well, maybe, the dude threw your key, somewhere out here. And I'm like, why would he take time to go through my purse? And like, oh, well, I'll keep the wallet. She'll probably need her lip gloss. She'll probably need her car keys. Don't need a locked iPhone. But I was holding out hope. So me and a couple other people were looking around in the vicinity, like on the ground, for my key fob and all that stuff. So one of the guys that I had met inside the club was like, yo, I saw what happened. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I was like, thanks, you know. And he was like, do you got a ride? Do you use my phone? I was like, I cannot think of any numbers that I know by heart that could actually even help me in my situation. There's no point in waking my mom up at this time of night. She's literally almost 4 hours away. Waking my daughters up with the babysitter couldn't do absolutely nothing. Like, I would still have to send an Uber all this way to get me. Like, the more I kept like trying to like have a solution, the more it fucked up it seemed. You know what I mean? More like bleak it seemed. And then I was like, oh, if I can remember my girlfriend's Instagram, or if you could get on Instagram and find my girlfriend's Instagram account, maybe I can call her through Instagram. Maybe will answer. She's a little closer. We couldn't find her Instagram. Like, I don't know if I was just too drunk or she got some crazy spelling, but I'm like, I thought I knew her Instagram. So that was dead. And finally he was like, I can take you home. And I was like, I live too far. No. And I don't know you. I don't know you. Like, an Uber is gonna be easily $200. Like, he was like, no, for real, where do you live? And I was like, so I told him. He was like, all right, well, I don't mind taking you home. So at this point, I'm like shocked. And I'm borderline feeling like, bitch, you're crazy, because you're gonna get in the car with a stranger and he's gonna drive you home, and God knows where this will go. It didn't hurt that he was easy on the eyes. Okay. 6'2", chocolate, beard, low cut, earrings, muscles, abs. I could tell he had abs because his shirt was, I could see his abs. And I'm not usually into the pretty boys, but being that I was already vulnerable and broken and a hot ass mess, because I literally cried my makeup down. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this like can't get any worse. Like, so I said yes. Y'all, I said yes. He's a perfect gentleman. He was like, let me help you into my truck. You know, it's kind of high. I was like, oh, okay. A truck, that's nice. He's like, you want to listen to anything? Like, you can play whatever you want to play. And I was like, I'm not thinking about music right now. Like, what do you think? I'm just going to be singing my heart out to all my favorite songs? I was like, your car, your playlist. Y'all, it was the longest ride ever. It was the longest ride ever because I was pretty far from my house. Yeah, over an hour. I'm just leave it at that. And when I tell you, the conversation was so organic and it was really interesting and fun. And for a second, I forgot why I was in a car with a stranger talking about everything and nothing. We talked about herbal teas and his home country and animals and horses and college and family, and I could not believe that I was forgetting. I really forgot about everything. And when it hit me, didn't I say no more whining and calling me like that? No, you were okay. Stop the whining. Play with Skylar then. Autumn, leave your sister alone. Autumn, get out. You're not listening.
What you saying?
Leave your sister alone.
Okay.
Sorry. So, I know y'all can hear that. It is ear piercing. So anyway, where was I? So, when I remembered how the hell my night ended, I literally started bawling again. Like, I felt like a complete fool. And why did this man... Oh my God, this sun is annoying. Why did this man literally reach over, hold my hand, rubbing the top of my hand with his hand. His hands were so big and callous and strong and comforting, and he was like, yo, it's gonna be all right, because all that stuff is material. It can be replaced. You know what I mean? Like, niggas is foul. Like, you know, for a dude to steal from a woman and that's gonna come back, and you're good. You're gonna get home. We're gonna get your car key. I'm gonna take you back, because I had a spare at home, and he offered to take me back to my car after I got my key. And I was like, you're right. Like, you're right. And he was like, you never know how these things pan out. Like, the Most High, he's still in control. And I looked at him. I was like, the Most High? I'm like, sir, don't be prophesying to me. Don't give me no. I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no spirituality, woo woo. Because at this point, I'm like, I just made myself backlit. So, yeah. So then I get home, and then I didn't exactly tell him my apartment number because I was like super weirded out by this whole situation. So hold on, y'all. Let me, hold on. I want to like not be backlit, not be with the sun behind me. All right. All right, that's better. All right. It's a little better. I think. This video's getting long. You can't see me, but you can hear me. Okay, so anyway. Ew, what is this on this table? Ugh. Okay, so anyway. So I don't give him my exact apartment number. I give him just the street. And I tell him to park kind of far away from where I live because I was like, you never know. And I was watching my back, like, if this nigga try to follow me, I swear. And he was like, I'm going to take a leak. I got to go to the bathroom, and I'll wait for you. And I was like, okay. Like, I was like, well, you want me to bring you a bottle of water at least? He was like, yeah, that'd be nice. I was like, okay. I'm inside, and I'm like, okay. You're my baby. I don't know. I'm still stunned. I'm like, I'm so thankful I made it home. I'm so thankful that, this is a plan. I can get my spare key and get back to my car. I cleaned up my face a little bit because, like I said, I had been crying. So all my mascara, my eyeliner was like, I look like a damn raccoon. And I even said that in the car. I was like, oh my God, I look a mess. Because I was like, can I pull my mirror down, the visor down? He was like, you don't look, given the night that you had, he was like, you're so beautiful. And I was like, oh Lord, here we go. So I get him a bottle of water. I clean up my face a little bit, like the best I could. I do not go out barefaced. So this is what I look like when I got back in the car with him. Like, I didn't have time to like touch up or anything. I just got the makeup off of my eyes. I go back. That's what I was doing. While I was inside, I was like, this nigga's gonna dip. He's gonna dip. He's gonna leave me. He's just gonna leave. He's just gonna hightail it back to Baltimore. He does not owe me a ride back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And he was still there, and I was like, yeah, okay. Like the whole time I was like, this just cannot be happening, So the ride back was just as interesting as the ride down. Like, more conversation. This time I did. We started talking about music, and I was like, I kind of like weird stuff. Like, I love my R&B and rap too, but I like Hiatus Coyote and like just eclectic music. I don't even know what niche or genre is technically called. And so he was showing me some stuff that he liked, and then we did like sing-along karaoke. That was crazy. And I was just like, now the sun's coming up. We hit the Northern Virginia, DC bound traffic, and we had to stop and go to the bathroom. Oh my God, I did not tell y'all. I had a little cash in the house, and I was like, please, here's something for gas. He was like, I don't want your money. And I'm like, this gas guzzling truck, you might not want my money, but I know you need it. Like, we don't need to get gas. He was like, no, we good. And he was like, I'm not taking your money. And I was like, floored, because I was like, okay, sir. So I put my little money back in my purse. I had brought a 20 because I thought maybe we could get something to eat. And then I brought a $100 bill, and he was not having it. I was like, y'all, it's always good to keep a little cash. You never know. With these debit cards, these banks gonna be down. So I always kept a little cash. So we get back to my car, and then the key fob doesn't work. I kid you not. Like, it's completely dead because I haven't used it in 6 months. I've always used, Volvo gave me two. There's an orange one and a black one. I just was using the orange one. I just don't know why. And so I was like, oh my God. So we Googled Volvo roadside assistant. and they were like, the best thing that you could do, the free option, is to just tow the car to the nearest Volvo dealership, and we'll get you a battery, or it could not be the battery, it could be something going on with your car. Either way, we'll get it fixed. I'm like, it's not my car. I drove up here. It's fine. I just need a battery. And they were like, take it or leave it. And I'm like, oh my God. So the tow truck took 90 minutes. And I was like, you know what? It is like 7 a.m. I cannot make this up. And I'm like, don't you have like somewhere you need to be, work, something? And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm here with you. Like, I want to make sure you're good. And I'm like, well, now that thanks to you, I've been able to call Google roadside assistance. And then I used his phone to call the emergency contact. I Googled my job because I was supposed to be at work at 9:30. Clearly wasn't making that. And I was like, I've kind of made all the phone calls I need to make. You can just leave me to wait for the tow truck. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, I'm positive. Like, it's nothing else for you to do. Like, maybe I can keep looking for my key around here. Like, it's fine. It's not the worst neighborhood. Like, it's daylight. Like, I should be okay. And that's when he kissed me. And I was like, if this ain't some shit out of a story. Not only did he kiss me, he picked me up and he was like, you are light as a feather. And I'm like, easy for you to say, Mr. 6'2" and all muscles? That's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, where did this kiss come from? And I'm like, you're love bombing. You think that I'm going to, fall head over heels for you and be indebted to you and feel obligated to give you something in return for all of this kindness and chivalry. And I'm telling you right now, it has not happened. And though that kiss was amazing, it was something out of a smut book, I was not buying it. And it happened so fast I couldn't even push back. And God, was that one of the most amazing kisses I've ever had. And I started questioning myself. I started questioning my judgment. I started questioning everything about everything that I believe in, everything that I know is right, everything and I literally pushed him off me. I was like, you can leave now. I appreciate your kindness, but the tow truck's gonna be here 90 minutes. It's already been 30. I ain't got that much longer to go. Thank you. And he was like, for real? I was like, When I tell y'all that truck pulled off, I was like, ah! I was like, fuck. And I was so torn because I'm like, what is happening? This can't be real. This cannot be my life. This can't, and he left. And half of me was like, why would you be so stubborn? Why would you push him away? But then, bitch, you don't know this man. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know, and sorry. And I just was like, that's okay. So I walked down to the corner store. I took that cash, so I had that cash, and I bought a Starbucks coffee and almond joy just to hold me over. And when I tell you, the dude was catcalling, and I'm like, not them thinking I'm some hoe on the corner, cause no. And I was so uncomfortable and I was so nervous, and it took everything in me to find. There was this building that was kind of not in business anymore, so I found this little stoop that I could sit so I could see my car, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. So when the tow truck comes, I'm not totally out of sight where I'm not, you know what I mean? Because if I had waited up at the corner store, I'd have been too far. And I didn't have any sense of time, how long the sun was coming up. It was getting hotter and hotter, girl. I'm saying girl, the ants were starting to crawl up the steps where I was sitting. I'm starting to sweat. The coffee's getting lukewarm. And in that moment, I was like, oh, please, God, Mother, Father, God, the universe, something. I can't with this moment. And that's when I saw his truck pull up. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. He came back. Like Beauty and the Beast, that scene when Belle was like, he came back. I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, you miss me? I said, but I'm glad you're here. And he was like, oh, for real? I went, Girl, I jumped in that truck so quick. And the rest of the time, because he had gotten the text updates from the tow truck driver because he gave them their number. He gave them his number. It was a breeze. It was another hour, but it was a breeze. We talked some more, and he's flirting with me and joking and just making the morning just easier. And I'm like, this whole experience has been easier because of you. Like, I can't describe it. Like, I've felt safe with you. I felt my mind has been off of it. And if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been okay. I wouldn't have been okay. I wouldn't have been okay because I had no other option. No one else around that night was like, how can I help? What do you need? An Uber or something. No one else but him came up to me and was like, are you okay? Like, I saw what happened. And so when the tow truck driver came, the guy, he had to load up my car and everything like that. And that truck was even bigger, of course. So he, like, helped me up into the truck. Like, okay, if y'all know your period films, Pride and Prejudice, that scene where Mr. Darcy takes Elizabeth's hand to get into the carriage. And she, like, kind of like they touched hands. Like, even though this nigga had already kissed me and everything, it was still just such a magical moment because I was like, he is, like, laying it on so thick with this damn chivalry because I had written 30-year-olds off. I never told him my age. I never told him my name. I never, like, tried to connect with him like, oh, I'm going to flirt back like I like you. So I was holding back so much. Like, sometimes you can't help but be guarded because you're like, this is too good to be true. And so when he helped me into the truck, he was like, all right, so I'm going to text you. I'm going to check on you and make sure you're okay. And, text you when you get a phone. Like, I'm going to text you later when I think you've gotten your phone, a new phone and everything like that. And I was like, He was like, I'm for real. I'm going to text you. And I'm like, all right, okay. And he said goodbye. Gave me this smoldering look. The tow truck driver pulled off. I got to the Volvo dealership. They gave me a new battery for free. Everything was free because it was under 25 miles. They were just so sweet at the dealership, and then they were giving me another tip of, like, if this ever happened again, like, how your Volvo car can do this, that, and the other, and you can get in your car and start your car. Wow, and a hawk just flew up and landed on this light post. I kid you not. I should show y'all, just for shits and giggles. Look at this hawk. What, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And I'm super symbolic. I'm super like, oh my God, it's a sign. I'm going to Google this. I'm going to look this up. You know what I mean? Like, so beautiful. And I have found hawk feathers before, but I've never seen a hawk just fly up and land over top of me, staring at me at the pool. Let's see if we can get closer. Hold on. Look on y'all. Can you see it? There it is. Yeah, literally as we speak. Let's see if we can keep backing up. No, that's fake. This is real. Look, it's a hawk on this light.
Oh yeah, he was just telling me about that. I saw this last night, and it was so weird.
Uh-huh.
It's pointed that direction.
Oh.
And so I just noticed it now. It's pointing back here.
Oh. It might be electronic. Maybe it turns. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But the hawk is amazing. Okay, so back to my story. After I left the Volvo dealership, before I left the Volvo dealership, because remember I didn't have a phone, so I asked the tow truck driver if he could Google an address, the store, the cell phone store. Google the address for me so I could go to the nearest cell phone store and get another phone while I was at it, or just the price one, hopefully, And this is an 8. I love the Apple iPhone 8 SE home button. I'm not into these newer phones. I know, what are we on, like Apple 16 now? So when I went to the phone store, he was like, I have a refurbished one for $99. And I'm like, I have a $100 bill. I'll take it. And it was $5 for tax. And so I had a full tank of gas, so I was thankful for that. So let me go back so I'm not confusing y'all. My car has GPS a GPS feature in it. So he gave me the address. I put it in. I got to the cell phone store, bought a new refurbished phone for literally $105, and I told you I had that 120, and then cut my phone on, synced my contacts, called my kids, let them know, I was okay and I was on my way home. At this point, I had been up for 22 hours. This was a long-ass video, but I had to give y'all all the details and all the tea because I still don't know how I feel about this weekend. I still don't know how I'm processing what the point, what the fuck, why. I'm still processing why that guy seemed to just come out of nowhere with all these things in common with me that I was not going to let on. I'm still processing all of these things, and I'm sharing this with you because no one knows at the end of the day. But all we can do is continue to stay positive. All we can do is just continue to wake up, show up, and not give up on our own stories, not give up on our own unfoldings, not give up. And for me, it's releasing control because I struggle with that as a Virgo, as someone that, I'm a life coach. I know exactly how this is supposed to go, and it be going in no way like I had planned. That's me learning how to release this control. And I don't even know why I need to learn this lesson, but clearly that's the lesson, and that's the vibe, that's the theme of my life. But I'm sharing because I can't be alone in this. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come about with me and this guy. I don't know what's gonna come about with me in the future or anything. Because, but the end. The end. I mean, I don't even have I thank you for watching, but what is the point of all that? I don't know. What is the point? I don't know, but thank you for watching. And until the next one, as I always say, peace, bye.